Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Kathy. We're going to go over some comments on this video that I put up last night. Eric, his mom, friend, Robert, and Sonny, all connected to North Carolina. Now Timmy spotted in North Carolina. So I don't know if this picture's true or where they got this. Somebody's thinking that this lady here looks a little photoshopped. Not sure. And not sure if they're even together. But I know one thing, Timmy is not shopping in Walmart in North Carolina by himself, or really any Walmart for that matter. You know what I mean? Even if this was his local Walmart. Now, on that trip to Aldi's, if you notice, they all stuck together, you know, but they've not really been together. So I don't know who he's with now, but before they were all kind of clumped together. This almost looks like he's out doing his own shopping on his own, but you know, obviously somebody's there with him. So now right away people started saying, well, that's not Timmy, look how long his hair is. All right, we have to remember they were taken away on September 8th on a Monday. September 8th until today is 50 days, okay? We are working on going on 2 months now. Did his hair grow that long in 50 days? Probably. I mean, it's been almost 2 months. So I don't think I think his hair would have grown this much in almost 2 months. So, but I don't know. I don't know. This guy here says that they were took and maybe brought to North Carolina. I don't know. Well, let's go over some of these comments because I thought they were very interesting. As always, you did not disappoint. So let's look at some of these. Okay. I hope complaints have been laid against these exploiters. The Whittakers need to sue some people. I'm going to tell you what I see here is, in my opinion, if this is me and my family, I see a gigantic lawsuit with lots of charges brought down on people, because I believe that Whittakers were taken under false pretenses, under lies, under deception, and under false information, and then nobody's been able to see them and stuff. Believe me, I would have a lawyer all over this if it was me. And you say, well, Whittakers don't have money. Well, Patrick, give them the money. And they'll have the money for the lawyer. You're right. I would sue them. I'd be suing everybody, including Eric and Patrick. Not just for the money, but for lying to get my family taken away. I've showed flat out lies. What about the ring bell cam? Did Eric and Patrick show adult protection, that ring cam where BJ is flying by beeping her horn? In Eric's word, tormenting Timmy, traumatizing Timmy. Yeah, so when Timmy was taken, his head was pretty much shaved. Here in the pic, supposedly North Carolina is too long for the time frame. I believe Patrick also confirmed it was an older picture. I wouldn't believe a damn thing, Patrick, that comes out of his mouth. If people haven't learned, even by my own videos, and I don't know about other people's videos, but if you've watched my videos, don't believe a damn word Patrick says. He's just as much of a liar. And that's not just, I mean, yeah, it's my opinion, but I've proven he's lied. When Timmy was taken, his head was pretty much shaved. Well, I showed you, it's been almost 2 months. I believe a man's hair can grow in 2 months that much, or women for that matter. Yes, Dwayne, he does remind me of Bobblehead too. Actually, I almost put that on one time with his head. And I almost put on, what was his name? Dwayne also reminds me of this guy, Smiley, who's always nodding his head and laughing. But yeah, totally agree. Dwayne is a yes man, shaking his head yes to everything Eric says, even when he has no clue what Eric just said. Someone said Eric reminds me of Michael Barnett, who was part of the Misery of Natalia Grace. Exact same personality, bombastic and over emotional. Won't admit guilt in the adoption of her. Let his wife make the decision, but he was the one that has to do it. That's funny. I didn't see that, but I believe it. There may be a movie about Eric someday. Do you think that the guy that was going to build their house really went there to walk the property? I hated how he'd say to all of them, BJ's got to get out. You guys aren't going to get a new house, and telling these folks constantly that you can, and you can see that he has a short fuse. Yep. There's been a few times that you could just see in his face that he was pissed. I bet off camera he wasn't even that nice to Timmy. Nah, he wasn't. He treated Timmy like a puppet. Just a cash cow, that put here, sit here, don't talk, go in the house, get out of here. Okay, come over here. Do the video. Okay, get out of here. Yeah, I don't know about these people walking the property. Who even knows? Because they didn't even show us some people that were there. The original person who posted that picture, Timmy, didn't know much about the Whittakers. When he posted it, he got hundreds going for him. There's a screenshot where he says, I didn't realize just how serious it all is. People assume that everyone in the world knows what's going on, but that's not true. His page is about cars, etc. It's a random post he made, and he took it down after he was hounded. In my opinion, it was a real picture and was posted because he knew of Timmy, but not realizing it could have been a career or could have been a care or something else. Then comes the question, why has it taken so long for Betty to be able to see her family? I did hear Betty was visiting them, or has already, but I don't know how that went. Yeah, that's just weird how we don't. It's been almost 2 months, and I don't know if, unless they're not telling us they're visiting. I don't know, why haven't they been able to visit? I did hear Betty was visiting them, or has already, but I don't know how that went. Was Timmy with them? Did they bring him to meet Timmy from somewhere else? Would Betty fully understand what it would mean if Timmy was driven in to make sure he's at the meet, if it ever happened at all? But if the picture is real, why would they take them so far away? How would they get around the fact that Timmy may not meet up with Betty? Well, yeah, why would they take him all the way there? Well, because they already had a place for him, and I don't think it's real abnormal to go out of state, but I don't know. I don't know anything about the adoption stuff. That would prove what you said is to be true. If Betty never got to see Timmy, something's real off. I could be, oh, yeah, we don't know. But why hasn't she seen Timmy and any of them? Don't forget in that video that Eric says he's coming for Timmy, and that's a promise. And look, Timmy was spotted in public in North Carolina. All right, remember that last video where Eric is looking in the camera and he's like pretending he's almost ready to cry. He says, Timmy, I love you, and I'm going to come back for you. Believe me, I'm coming back for you. Well, did he come back for you? I mean, just sick. Yep. Find out who she is. Yep, know it's going to happen. Now, here's something I've not mentioned yet, but I've thought about. Let's see. I hope that weirdo Eric hasn't already abused Timmy. That one video of him and Timmy against the wall, to me, looked like Eric was being threatening to Timmy. Now, there's something I want to mention. And speaking of possible abuse, now, I don't know, but this is something that has been in my mind over and over. Why was it that Eric insisted everybody that comes to the Airbnb showers? Timmy had to shower twice a day. Ray had to shower. Larry had to shower. Kenny showered. I think Kenny, not sure, maybe even Kenny, but Betty went in the shower. And I think Lorraine, all of them were in Eric's shower. Why? Why is Eric insisting everybody gets naked in his bathroom? Huh? Anybody find that weird? I have never offered a family that I barely know to come take showers in my house. And believe me, if I went over, me and my family went over to Eric's house or anybody's house, and the host there is insisting we all go in and take showers, that to me is red flags. Oh, well, they never had a shower before. Give me a break. Anybody here believe that the Whittakers never seen a shower before? Now, remember, they've been in multiple homes. Everybody has. Even the home that's standing there now, that's not the original home. Another one burnt down. And there was another one across the street that burnt down. Another one burnt down. They've been through multiple homes. You don't think they've had a shower before? And why is it so important for Eric to teach Timmy how to take a shower twice a day? You know, and just all of it. Showering Ray, showering Lorraine. You know, and I thought at the time, well, that's kind of weird because here you have Timmy, Ray, and Kenny was over. Kenny was at that Airbnb. But Eric was the one saying, I took Timmy and showed him how to take a shower. I showed Timmy how to shower. And I'm thinking to myself, why wouldn't, first of all, that's weird. But if anybody's going to teach Timmy how to take a shower, why wouldn't it be his Uncle Kenny? Why would it be this strange man that you don't even know from Georgia? Why is he the one bringing you in the bathroom, showing you how to take a shower twice a day? But my thought is there a camera set up in that bathroom? Why is it so important for everybody to take a shower when they go to Eric's? You know what I mean? Is it just me? Like I said, I would never, ever have people over for Labor Day and then insist they all go take showers. Unless maybe I had a camera set up in the bathroom, you know. And for Timmy to go in there twice a day, come on. Anyway. Just something that's been in my back of my mind is like, and not only that, but all these strange men. Not only is Timmy with Eric in this Airbnb, but he's with Eric from Georgia, Douche from California, Robert from Idaho, somebody from North Carolina, at least one person, probably two, the way they talk. So who are all these strange people in an Airbnb while Timmy's taking showers and laying in bed with Eric? Anyway, so, yeah, and there's more than one way to be abused, we know that. I bet the lady that Eric called and said he'd get lunch and gas for showing up to the Whittakers he knew personally, or his mom. Absolutely, and that's why I think his mom's involved, because what's the mom? A professional, person that has spent her whole life getting custody of people, getting guardianship. And Eric tries to say he doesn't know anything about APS. Well, you had him on speed dial and you don't know nothing about him? Yeah. All right. Toddy mentioned in one of her videos that she questioned Patrick about this post of Timmy in North Carolina. But Patrick told her it was an old photo. I'm not necessarily believing it just because Patrick said so. I'm just letting you know that that's what it said. Well, thank you, but I don't believe Patrick a damn word that comes out of his mouth. See, he went along with Eric thinking they were going to cash in and just, I believe they were both trying to ace out the family out of Timmy. And then they had a falling out, and then it was just, Eric even said, I was on mouth. At first, we were going to be two dads and a Timmy. Me and Patrick were going to, do this split guardianship. But wait, what? And then he said, but, after all this happened, I'm just going to, it's just going to be me. And he said that. Yeah, I wouldn't believe a damn thing, Patrick. Well, okay, he's the one with the ring cam video. Remember the hoax ring cam video? That was Patrick. If he can pull all that off with a ring cam video, a little, 2-second splice of a ring cam video, and turn it into something else, and turn it into something where the family gets taken away, I wouldn't trust Patrick as far as I could throw him. And he's a big boy. Yes, he would have certainly broadcasted him and Timmy visiting a friend in North Carolina. Eric leaves half of what he does unmentioned. The tumblers tell me he's a heavy drinker on the job, livid, forgetful, his game full of mistakes, stupid for attempting such a thing, credit for being brazen. Big question, will the investigator connect the dots? I hope so. Yeah, Eric never once asked Betty if Timmy could go to North Carolina. He just said Georgia. I bet he took Timmy to North Carolina and just said he was going to, well, actually, he said he was going to North Carolina, but we never once saw Betty agreeing to anything. Never. We never heard anything we ever heard from Betty. She was, like a POW sitting there, staring at the camera in a daze, like, okay, and then looks to Patrick. Should I say that? All right, Betty, tell him how bad BJ is. And she's, like I said, she looks like a what do they call that? I had to think of it, Stockholm syndrome. You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, she looks like a POW in every one. Looks like a hostage film in every one of those videos that Matt, Patrick, or Eric did with the Whittakers. You notice the Whittakers were never really, they were only yes and no questions. They never ad-libbed or just went rambling on. Nope. That wasn't allowed. Very controlled conversations. Now, this is very interesting from Pam. On the 4th, when they went to Pearisburg to meet the Amish, Timmy was with Patrick at his Airbnb. Eric got back the same day and did a short clip of Ray on Patrick's porch. I remember that, yeah. He then went to his condo and made a video telling about that long 1-hour trip and Eric's mood then versus a few minutes before seeing all the Whittakers at Patrick's was a 180. Huh. And Eric's mood then versus a few minutes before seeing all the Whittakers at the family was a 180. Yes. I'm telling you, something happened in that short time because Eric was all smiles seeing Ray, and then minutes later he looked pissed, dejected, in a video from his porch after pulling off the Hail Mary, yep, with the Amish, yep. I think that's when he found out that he missed the court date. Then I think he spent the evening talking with Douche and Dwayne about what to do to blow everything up. They needed it on video. And you are right, because so Douche was running the camera and videotaping how the big blow up of how, remember that? Eric is berating them and telling them to call the police on each other, and this whole deal is up. And he turns to his friend Douche and says, "You're getting all this, right? And make sure you're getting all this." And he says, "Yeah, I'm getting it." because that was the video on the porch when Eric blows up. That was the video that they were going to use to show everybody that why the deal is off. You're right. Yep, they need it on video. So true. Pam also says when Eric was on the live and he said he was going to North Carolina the next day, Timmy got all excited saying, yay, he's leaving, I can go home. Then Eric says, don't worry, you're going with me. Timmy's like, crap. And somebody replied, yeah, at the time I thought, how boring making Timmy take a 4-hour trip. Yeah, and it was going to be in a car full of strange men he doesn't know. Yeah, that would be weird. Pam says, yeah, that's the day he was pumping out clips of him singing in the car with Timmy on the way to the airport, I'm assuming to Charlotte. Why did he drag him with that 3+ hours away? Yeah, he said it was almost 4 hours. Was it a test run to get the idea of how he would maybe do on a 10-hour drive to Georgia? No, I think that there was somebody in North Carolina, and well, Sunny lives in North Carolina, and that she is friends with Eric's mom. Somebody says, I think that's an old photo of Timmy because his hair seems much longer. Well, remember, it's been almost 2 months. It's been 50 days from today. So it's been almost 2 months. I believe his hair could grow that long. It's so interesting that you're talking about North Carolina because a few weeks ago, I saw a photo on the Whittaker family page of Timmy out for dinner at a restaurant called Gunther's in North Carolina. I was confused as to why they were there, and also remembered Larry talking to Sunny on the phone and mentioned that she would have to drive there from North Carolina. And that, yes, that's confirmed. That is where she lives. I, too, wondered if there was a connection there. I went back to the Facebook post. It was posted on September 4th. And that's that Thursday. And, well, see? And it was posted on September 4th. It could have been posted the next day, but yep, the 4th was Wednesday. Let me tell you. Yes. So the 4th was the Thursday. See his friends flown in. Then they bring Timmy to North Carolina on the 3rd. The next day, that video was posted of him eating at restaurant Gunther's in North Carolina on the 4th. Then he comes back on the 5th and implodes the whole deal. Okay, I went back to the Facebook post. It was posted on September 4th, and there were a lot of people also confused in the comments because they had been under the impression that everybody was going to having potato soup at Patrick's that night. Well, everybody but Timmy did, right? But apparently Eric took Timmy to pick up his cameraman and his friend from California, Douche, from the airport in North Carolina. People were also questioning why they went to that restaurant, which is in Union Grove, North Carolina, because it was kind of out of the way for the airport. Also, there are no airports in West Virginia. Why would they fly to North Carolina? Something is definitely strange about this. I agree with you. Thank you. And I'm not showing the names because I don't know if people want me to show the names. Okay, that's crazy if Eric's mom has Timmy. I really believe she may have him. She does know the system. That's right. Eric has bragged since day one how his parents were adopting people left and right. Adults. And not only just any adults, but handicapped, developmentally, just whatever they're. Handicapped adults. Yeah, there's a lot about Eric, his mom, and all his friends. That's not right. That's right. They're all, didn't you feel they're all a little strange? All right, I meant to say it's an old picture of Timmy. That woman in the shopping looks like she's photoshopped in the picture. I don't believe it's old with the woman put in there. You're right. White lines around the woman so that she's not supposed to be in the picture. She was put in the picture besides. They might have put that woman in that picture to throw everybody off. A red herring. Might have just been some other random shopper. I believe 100% that the picture of Timmy in North Carolina is real. The Dwayne guy looks and acts just as creepy as Eric. Yes. Then you add Mark, an ex-Amish character who flies in to be with what they have called a freak show. They did. They called this a freak. They did. I bet none of them would or have ever put themselves around a person who has such disabilities. They heard they could get rich off the Whittakers, and they dropped everything just to do just that. These are guys who go through life saying and doing whatever they see fit and taking advantage of those who are easily fooled out of their money. Just imagine having a conference every night thinking what would be the next big selling item between your friends to not only take advantage of the elderly and disabled, but how to get in their minds of those watching. Yes, that is diabolical. Pity party came to mind. Anyone who has donated, yeah, you've been had. By the way, how does an ex-Amish guy sell an idea to an Amish guy living the true life of Amish? Does he bring his friends and sucker punch him to do it? You know, that is interesting because by every account, when you leave the Amish community, you leave your family behind, you leave everybody, your friends. It's much like Scientology. When you're in, you're out, you're out. And once you leave, you can't come back. And they want nothing to do with you. And your family has nothing to do with you. Anybody who stays has nothing to do with you. So why? Why would they bring in this ex-Amish guy to, to be the one to make the deal, to buy the cheese and make the deal? Why him? Like I said a long time ago, you and I, being not Amish, would have 100% more chance of getting a house built with the Amish than somebody who has, turned their back on the Amish, who is basically they see him as a traitor. You know what I mean? So yeah, why would the Amish guy? And not only that, but just think about this. Robert Mass is not just an ex-Amish, okay, which would already make him an enemy of the Amish. But just remember, Robert Mass' son, who also turned away from the Amish community, all right, you have been excommunicated. Now, the Amish people, there was an Amish man who killed John Mass' excommunicated ex-Amish son. Okay, so not only are they ex-Amish, but there's been this high-profile, well, I don't know about high-profile, there's been this murder trial, which was basically pitched the Amish against the non-Amish. So it even lowers Robert Mass lower on the totem pole of people that you should bring around the Amish, because him and his family, the excommunicated Amish people, just convicted, one brought a criminal trial and a civil suit. They just got awarded millions or whatever. Now they haven't been paid yet because that's not how it works. But Robert Mass just sued the Amish people for millions of dollars. So yeah, is that the one you want to bring with to this Amish house deal? I think I commented a few back that Eric's mom could have Timmy, and that was the goal all along. I wouldn't be surprised, me neither. Yeah, but the original plan was to take Timmy so he could be filmed like a cash cow, and their plan didn't work entirely. No, yeah, Eric wants the cash cow when it's convenient for him. But Eric's going to bring the cash cow home, put it somewhere in his mom's house or in the wife's house, and then leave again. And Eric's going to be gone again for another 6 months or whatever. He'll only stop by occasionally, and I'm sure who's ever at home can be filming these videos, and then he'll film some when he comes around every once in a while. Because Eric's not even seeing his own children. And somebody said his wife just had a baby. I don't know how many kids Eric has, but obviously he's not even seeing his own children. So why would he go out of his way to come home and see Timmy? You know what I mean? He doesn't come home to see his own children. It's more important to be in these Airbnbs and restaurants and having fun with all his male friends all over the place than it is to be home with his wife and babies. Then they let it slip out that they knew this Amish guy and had been friends for 33 years. was watching it when it was live, and they slipped up and said this. Yes, and I did do a video about that. Yeah, supposedly, and then he knew him. Like, what? And if you knew this Amish guy, and he's still an Amish, and he's a bishop, he would have nothing to do with Robert Mass. And that's, I used to think, is Robert just dumb and Robert Mass is just like clueless of what Eric's doing? Nope. I don't think that at all, because who better than even us would know that he ain't making no damn deal with the Amish people about a house. The Amish people ain't going to have a second to give them. All right? The Amish people aren't going to have 1 second to talk to Robert Mast. They'll talk to me, they'll talk to you, but no. After that, not only did he, turn his back on the Amish community, but then he turned around and sued him, and, it was the son and the trial and all that stuff. I mean, that's all out war. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, did they get what they want? We don't know yet. Yes, I believe Timmy was at Eric's mom, and Betty was mad because Timmy was mad at Eric left, and Timmy without permission. We never saw Betty give any permission for this. And remember, when just a month or two earlier, what was it, a month earlier? 2 months earlier, Betty was saying, no, you got to have Timmy back by dark time. He's got to be home by dark. I wish she would have stuck to that rule. None of this would have happened. You know what I mean? If I don't think it would have happened at all if Timmy had to be home every night and never be allowed to be what I feel is groomed at these Airbnbs with Eric for, days and weeks on end. He had him alone. He's FaceTiming with his mom, who is a guardianship expert. Still can't believe Eric tricked me until I came across this video and break down perfectly. What a snake. Just hope the 3 good ones are all good. Wouldn't be surprised if Eric moms could support Timmy. We'll find out when we get the new Timmy TV. Yeah. And you know what? Right now, whoever has them can't even, if somebody did have SCON with them by using the adult protection system, right now they can't even make videos. Yeah, try to make a video, okay? Yeah. Yeah, just figured out. Yeah, and we want Timmy safe. Yeah, the woman does look, does kind of look cropped. And that just might be a decoy to throw us off that, yeah, he can be placed anywhere for temporary services. That's right. I'm pretty sure they can go out of state. Where there's smoke, there's fire. They had 2 goals: to keep the money safe, keep the cash cow. They aren't going to be posting now because the heat. Yeah, exactly. That's what I just said. They're not going to be posting right now. They gotta hold off on the videos because it's just not going too good. Posting now because the heat is on, but all this died down, and bet that's the goal for the future daily life of Timmy. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You keep second guessing yourself, but I think you're onto something. One thing that keeps sticking out of me, keeps saying over and over, is how fast things are. And you know what? Me too. How many times did he say, and I just showed that video yesterday of him saying, oh, you guys, things are just moving so fast. That was on Tuesday. Remember, eviction notice Tuesday, restraining order Wednesday, out of town to North Carolina Thursday, meeting Wednesday, North Carolina, Thursday, who knows, meeting Amish, Friday, call the deal off and leave with Timmy. Because think of it, how come when the deal went off on Friday and he made up that big blow up and did all the videos, why didn't he go home? If it was over, Eric, why didn't you go home that Friday? He stuck around another 5 days to make sure them Whittakers were taken into custody Monday morning. Yep. He seems like he's in a drug-induced psychosis. He does seem like sometimes manic. Very frantic and manic. Agitated. Maybe go watch Eric's dad talk, see if something fits in North Carolina, friends its mom. Yeah, well, his Sonny lives there, and Eric's mom is Sonny's buddy, and they're both into the adoption thing. That picture lady looks green. Yeah, maybe. That might have been a decoy. She also has a foundation called Sunny Rose. That's Sunny. Somebody answered, pretty sure Sonny Megan just makes a Facebook account and calls it Foundation. Yeah, it sounds good, and you get money. She changed the name to Sunny Rose. Apparently, Rose is the middle name of her moderator for the group. Huh. No coincidence. It's no coincidence she came out of nowhere. She said she had the same verbiage as Eric, and she was fixated on the Whittakers. Sonny, Megan, wanted the Whittakers to see an attorney she had set up. What was that appointment about? Could she have wanted Betty to sign over all her rights? She was totally harassing Betty over the phone until Larry had to tell her to stop upsetting Betty. She also knew about the land not being in their name. She wanted them to sign a new deed or quick claim deed. I remember that. I thought, that what does that have to do with getting the family back? Listen, adult protection didn't haul them off because the land wasn't in their name. You know what I mean? Right. And what did I say? She's muddying. I didn't even know this lady. I said, who is this lady? She's really muddying up the waters. It's like, stick to getting the family back. Worry about whose name the land is in later. You know what I mean? But yeah, she wanted to sign a new deed or quick claim. She did. Bringing her to... And you know what, Betty... I think she's so easily manipulated, so easily fooled. You could just say, all right, you're going to get your family back here. Just sign this right here. Yep, sign, and there's a date. Yep, we'll get them back next week. She wanted them to sign it. She definitely had nefarious intentions with the Whittakers, in my opinion. I believe that, too. I didn't even know her. Everybody was talking about that Sonny. Quick claim, yeah. Somebody said, I've seen that picture before. I believe it's old. And, you know, I thought that too. And I wouldn't have, like I even said in the video, I wouldn't even have thought really a lot about it. But why did it say North Carolina? And if this is old from North Carolina, what a coincidence. Out of all 50 states, how did he happen to be spotted in North Carolina? If you're basing it on his hair length, don't, because it's been almost 2 months. That's what I heard when this photo surfaced a few weeks ago, or whenever it was. I can't remember who said it. It's kind of hard to keep up with it all. Yeah, it is. That's for sure. I really believe we need to find out who this woman is. I don't know if that woman is photoshopped, if it's a red herring or what. Here, I wonder what Eric's family... Yeah, I wonder what year Eric's family adopted the girl. I think she'd be around 18, 20 years old. I think this adoption stuff with Sonny went down around 2007. That things that make you go, People need to watch Web of Lies and form their own opinion. Yes, there is a documentary on Sonny about adopting these kids, and some, I think, look like horror stories. Yeah, so go to Web of Lies. I think she said it was season 4, episode 5, or season 5, episode 4, one of the two. Definitely sus that Eric didn't film or mention the friend in North Carolina. Yeah, why not? None of that. And did Patrick know that Eric took Timmy to North Carolina? If so, then why didn't he mention it either? All the transparency talk is making us dizzy. Yeah, it's so transparent that we haven't seen a damn thing. Transparent as a block of lead. I just know none of what Eric was and is up to is right. I bet his mom, or behalf of Timmy. Now the two are in West Virginia. That might be. Lorraine and Ray might be somewhere, and Timmy might be somewhere else. Very interesting. I thought it had to be an old photo because Timmy's haircut. He had the haircut that was all bald and just a tail in the back. Well, actually, the tail in the back was like July or something. That was June or July. That was a long time ago. Yeah. But it's been 2 months almost since he's been taken, so even if he had a bald head, he'd still have longer hair. When Mark backed away, I started paying attention. I think Tyler, out of nowhere, 2 obvious scammers popped up. Mark has worked for reputable companies, not hurting for cash. Yeah, and that is a huge difference. Mark Laeda was not a broke ass with $100 in his pocket trying to solve his problems through the Whittaker videos. You know what I mean? Like Eric and Patrick. As a matter of fact, but remember, Eric was saying how not only how broke he was, he only had $100 his name, but later when they had the falling out, Eric was telling everybody how broke Patrick was. And because Patrick had just he's just spent from September, October, November, December, January in jail. Patrick has spent almost 5 months in jail. He got out in January, Patrick. So after 5 months of being in jail, yeah, you need some money. And he had a bail bond, and he had all kinds of court fees and all kinds of problems. And he got convicted July 27th. But he was in jail from September to January. So, yeah, it would make sense that Eric said Patrick was almost 3 months behind on his truck payment, and they were coming to repossess it. So he had to give Patrick some money. So they were both broke-ass bitches, you know what I mean? Right. Mark has worked for reputable companies, not hurting for cash. These two, Patrick and Eric, having drones over the shack, using these people as a cash cow. A lot of other things that bother me I can't mention because YouTube will flag my opinion. Maybe the shower. Yeah, the shower. Yeah, that was weird. Eric felt crap. Eric took Timmy, supposedly picked up Robert Mass and Eric's friend Mark. There's a video of Timmy and Eric. It's a short video of Eric and Timmy on the drive to North Carolina. They were talking about stopping to eat. After that, there was no more video of the day. I wonder where that is. I wonder where that video went. Okay, notice the word tooken in the title. Yeah, they all got tooken. Now listen, JP, constant use of the word tooken. Yeah, I don't know this JT dude, but I laughed when he kept saying tooken. I think this is the way they talk. There really needs to be transparency on where the Whittakers are. Someone with credibility in state government needs to address this matter. If not, then anyone or anything can be removed and placed God knows where for God knows what. It's so disgusting and this is so disgusting and disturbing. People just assume they're okay because Eric, Brian, and Patrick says so. I think you're on this like Angela Lansbury. Yeah. And people think, well, they're in good hands. They're safe now. They're in the state's custody. Have you seen what happens to some of these people in state custody? Whew, some of them don't even end up living. Okay, so not saying they're all like that, but it's not a guarantee. Just because they're in the state custody, you think, like I said, you think it's Club Med? These people are not like, yeah. They're going to put them in somebody's house probably eventually that they don't know. You imagine being taken, strapped to a stretcher, put in an ambulance out of nowhere. You're on the porch having a bologna sandwich and wondering, what car's going to drive by next. And then ambulance pull up and state troopers and police, and they come and grab you and they put you on a stretcher and they strap you down because they know you're going to struggle. So they strap you to a gurney and they put you in an ambulance and haul you away. Now you're in some same place. Everybody's looking at you, touching you, asking you questions. Then you're in a strange bed. You don't even know what you did wrong. Timmy's probably wondering, what did I do wrong? Same with Lorraine and Ray. They're like, what in the hell? Yeah. I mean, the trauma that they've been through. And then now you're in somebody weirdo's houses. It's just whatever. And you're 46 years old, for crying out loud. Being treated like a 2-year-old. And having to hear about how awful your family and your home is, like, okay. The content creator with the beard who posted this might be right sometimes, but I stopped watching because he makes things up. Yeah, well, I didn't really trust what he said, but I thought it was an amazing coincidence that, whether it's true or not, how would he say they're in North Carolina? Of all 50 states, why North Carolina? Congratulations. Looks like you figured it all out. Not all of it. Not yet. I feel stupid for believing. And anybody who feels stupid for believing Eric or Patrick, don't, okay? Because You are way ahead of the others that still believe it, okay? What happened is, like we all did, we hoped for the best. We saw Eric and Patrick. We think, oh, good, maybe good things will come. They keep assuring us everything's going to be transparent. Nobody's trying to steal anything from anybody. And they kept over and over. How many videos in a row did they make assuring everybody that family will not be ripped apart? They will not be hauled out on stretchers and all that. Well, they were. But don't feel stupid, people, for believing this, okay? And if you're in the comments of these old videos saying, yeah, BJ's dumb and all this, don't worry about it, okay? Because now you know. You saw the facts, you saw some evidence, and your critical mind said, hey, yeah, I've been duped. That's a victory for you, okay? So don't feel stupid. Feel it as a victory that you now see the truth. Because you know how many people don't still see the truth? A lot, okay? So don't put yourself down, people. Listen, the first video I saw, I thought, Patrick, and I don't remember which one it was. It was with Patrick. It was right at the beginning. And I thought, oh, that's nice. I even told my friend. I said, whoa, did you see that video that came out? Somebody's, I don't know what it was, fish? I don't know what it was. Somebody with Timmy Whittaker. And my friend said, they're all grifters. And I said, no. And they looked like he was, really enjoying his time with Timmy. Well, then I kept watching. Yeah. Tooken, Lord House. Yeah. I did think that was kind of funny. Tooken. All the Whittakers were tooken. Can't fix it. No, you can't fix it. And they're going to say tooken until the day they leave, son. Didn't you mention something about the contents of Patrick's house? Yes. I'd really be interested in that topic. Good work on this video. Thank you. Yeah, so in the email that Jody sent me, it says that Sunny went over to Patrick's house. I think it was her. And secretly recorded him. And then posted the video of the secret recording. And said how bad Patrick's house was. And said something about the contents inside the inventory, they said, the inventory of Patrick's house, like what's inside Patrick's house. Raised red flags for her or something. So even that Sunny, I think, went undercover to Patrick. Oh my God. You don't ever change your plans? I'm not sure what that means. These are new comments right here that I haven't seen yet. It is an old picture, and why should I trust content from an individual who doesn't even know proper English? Well, yeah, I wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater or whatever they say. I wouldn't just throw his word out because he can't speak proper English. But I look at everything with a critical eye. I don't believe anything 100%. I don't believe the video 100%. My point was, okay, whether this is true or not, why does it say North Carolina of all places? I can believe Sunny is connected to Eric, but what does it matter? What does it matter? Oh my goodness. It matters everything. She's out of the picture, and I don't think the whole video sheds any light on the problem of reuniting the family. Well, I think you're wrong there. I think my videos have shined more light than probably most people's videos. Because, and that's the end of that for now. That's all the comments. But thank you for all your comments. If you don't want to watch my videos, that's fine. You don't have to watch my videos. If you don't think they're shedding light on anything, that's fine. Go watch somebody else. There's that guy that looks like Santa Claus. You can go watch him. He'll tell you that the Whittakers just got taken from their home yesterday. There's plenty of places that you can go watch. You don't have to come here. Not everybody's going to see what I see and what other people see and what many other people see. Wow, that was 100 comments. Look at you guys. Exactly 100 comments. All right, well, I'll wrap this up. I just want to go over those comments and some concerns and questions and all that other stuff. So thanks for listening. There'll be more videos coming out. It is like in the 30s and 40s here. And so we're heading into winter here, and I'm going to be kind of trapped inside. I don't like cold. So I'm going to have more time to be doing videos. and whatnots. So, anyway, I got lots more to come. Thanks for watching, and peace.